The top 10 safest countries in the world, 2023. The world's safest and most peaceful nations are ranked by the Global Peace Index, the Institute for Economics and Peace, which describes itself as an independent, nonpartisan, non-profit organization dedicated to turning the world's focus to peace as a positive, feasible, and quantifiable measure of human well-being and progress, publishes this study every year. The report conducts research on several nations to ascertain which ones are the safest. Number 10. Japan. Japan has continuously received excellent rankings for having low crime rates, little internal strife, and almost no political turmoil, placing it among the top 10 nations in the Global Peace Index for the past 14 years. Japan's proximity to potentially hostile neighbors China and North Korea could become a threat to its safety at some point, but has not thus far. As a result of the Japanese people's lack of belief that owning a gun is a fundamental human right, Japan is noted for its restricted immigration and restricted access to firearms. Tokyo was deemed the safest city in the world in 2019, according to the Economist Intelligence Unit's Safe Cities Index, placing first in cybersecurity, second for health security, and fourth for infrastructure security and individual security. Number 9. Singapore. Singapore is ranked 9th for 2022 on the GPI. Singaporeans felt the highest sense of personal security and had the most favorable interactions with law enforcement of any nation's citizens, according to a Gallup survey from 2018. Singapore has one of the lowest crime rates in the world, which may be related to the harsh punishments meted out for even minor offenses. Guns and other weapons are rigorously regulated by the government and police, and violent and confrontational crimes are uncommon in Singapore. Singapore is a city-state, and according to the Economist Intelligence Unit's Safe Cities Index, it is the second safest city in the world. Singapore scored first for both personal and infrastructure security in 2019, second for digital security, and ninth for health security. Number 8. Czech Republic. The Czech Republic has experienced a steady decline in crime over the years, with violent crime rates particularly falling sharply. Naturally occurring calamities and acts of terrorism are likewise uncommon in the Czech Republic. Last but not least, the Czech Republic is home to a number of modern, well-run hospitals as well as a government-run health insurance program with inexpensive premiums and nearly universal coverage. Number 7. Slovenia. Slovenia, one of the former Yugoslavia countries, received top marks in not just one, but 3 different categories: travel security, medical risks, and road safety. Slovenia, like many Slavic nations, ushered in democracy in the middle of the 1990s and is currently committed to enhancing quality of life across a range of domains, including sustainability and safety. Number 6. Portugal. Portugal is ranked 6th among the most peaceful nations for 2022. Portugal was ranked 18th globally in 2014, but has subsequently improved significantly. Portugal has armed police, unlike Iceland and New Zealand, yet the country's crime rate has reduced as a result of enhanced police presence. Portugal has seen a recent economic revival, which has resulted in a drop in unemployment from over 17% to around 7%. Portugal frequently ranks among the finest places to retire, in large part because of how safe it is there. Number 5. Austria. For 2022, Austria was rated as the 5th safest nation in the world. While violent protests after ongoing social turmoil continue to be a worry, these are rather simple to avoid, and Austria is a highly safe country to visit otherwise. Major crimes are rare. Furthermore, there haven't been any significant terrorist attacks in Austria recently. Number 4. Denmark. Danish is one of the safest and happiest nations in the world, ranking 4th on the 2022 Global Peace Index. One of the few nations where people, even children, say they feel safe at any time of day or night is Denmark. Denmark's residents feel safe and content because of the country's high level of equality and strong sense of shared responsibility for social welfare. Since honesty and trust are valued highly in Danish business and politics, corruption is uncommon. Despite having a high personal income tax, Denmark funds social programs that make sure everyone has access to benefits and services that allow them to live well. For instance, everyone in Denmark gets access to healthcare without any additional costs, and free higher education, while the elderly are given at-home care assistance. Number 3. Ireland. Ireland experienced a considerable improvement in its level of peace in 2021, which helped it move up the rankings from 11th to 3rd in 2022. Outside of a few metropolitan neighborhoods, crime is fairly minimal, and there is no risk of terrorism or cultural violence. In truth, Ireland's stunning cliffs and meandering country roads should be respected, especially in the event of an unexpected downpour or in areas with poor cell service. They may be more dangerous than the country's inhabitants. Number 2. New Zealand. New Zealand is the world's second safest country. New Zealand, like Iceland, has an extremely low crime rate, with violent crime being especially uncommon. Theft is still something to be wary about, especially in tourist locations, although the general danger is low. Unlike its neighbor Australia, which is notorious for its harmful wildlife, New Zealand does not have any deadly animals. New Zealanders are typically liberal, and there are regulations in place to protect people's right to free expression. Police in New Zealand, like those in Iceland, do not carry personal guns. Number 1. Iceland. Iceland is the safest country in the world for the 14th year in a row, according to the Global Peace Index. Iceland is a Nordic country with a population of 340,000 people. Iceland has an extremely low crime rate, which is ascribed to the country's high standard of living, small population, strong social attitudes against crime, a high degree of trust in their well-trained police force, and a lack of tension between social and economic groups. Iceland has no military, and police officers do not carry firearms. Iceland also has equality laws in place, such as legal same-sex marriage and same-sex adoptions, religious freedom, and equal pay for men and women.